All right, we are live. Welcome to the Listen to This Bull live show. My name is Matt Mulholland, and that is Remington Huggins in a much more stable camera. Remington, I'm out in the field today. I don't know if you could tell.
I love it. I love it. Tell everybody what's going on today.
So I've actually been riding from Nashville, from John Tennis class, all the way down to Mobile, Alabama, to take a look at a Euroshield roof that has a little bit of controversy in it. So apparently, here's TJ. Let me put him in real quick. Apparently this particular roof has some potential fading issues. There's an area of this roof around a vent that is discolored, or appears to be anyway. And so there's a little bit of controversy on that. So we're actually out here. We're going to take a look to see if we can figure out what's going on with it, because it doesn't appear to be what meets the eye. So I got TJ McCormack with us and Leslie Gustafson, and we're going to jump into this house. I think you should hit that intro button.
Let's hit it. Let's start the show.
All right. I got myself out of the back-facing camera view, so you're not going to see my face anymore unless TJ points it at me. So you have TJ on mine and me on his.
What's going on, Matt?
How you doing?
Man, we're out here in Mobile, Alabama, at this Euroshield install. There was some controversy this past weekend over whether or not this was a bad install, it was a bad shingle, if it was a warranty issue, and we're here to clear it all up because this homeowner actually really loves this shingle, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can, both one for the roofing industry that might install the shingle, but two for this homeowner.
All right, yeah, so there's, if we jump up on this roof, which we're going to get up on in a little bit, we're going to get up in the attic and everything as well. But the beauty of this show is if you guys have any questions about it, you can ask us live, and then Remington's there. He's going to post your commentary and your questions up. Maybe you could help us figure out what the hell's going on with this thing. It is a really nice looking roof, though. I'm going to walk over to the front slope real quick.
I'm here to moderate. So if you guys got some questions, we'll have Matt and TJ ask them live while they're taking a look at this roof.
No doubt. Thank you, Remington, for moderating for us today. This roof, it's a 50-year hail-proof
Okay,
roof.
So I hope we don't go in and out all day, and it's possible that happens, the treachery of cell phone service. Can you hear me okay right now, Remington?
Yeah, we can. Hey, TJ, TJ, go ahead and explain the roof. You were going into some details.
Yeah, so this is a Euroshield roof. It's a 50-year hail-proof Vermont slate that's is black. And as you can see, we're on the back side of this roofing surface right now, and up towards where that solar attic vent is where people are concerned about the discoloration of that shingle.
Got it. Well, we have our first comment, and it's kind of a suggestion. It's James Austin. He's saying, I'm betting.
Well, for whatever reason, I don't get any audio right now, so I'm going to pull off this headset. Bear with me, guys.
Okay.
Remington, see if there's any good questions that we can try to answer while we're here.
Yep. Hey, TJ, we have a comment saying he's betting that's a heat issue causing the shingles to fade unevenly. Could be a chemical factor in the shingle batch, as well as making it fade faster from the heat. That was a suggestion there.
Let Leslie speak to this because all of those are great as to possible explanations. But when people realize and understand what actually is going on here, they're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, it totally makes sense now." Can
you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep. Hey, so Leslie, we're on live broadcast right now. Leslie's coming around here, and we're going to let you explain what's going on, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
because we've had our first comment. Remington, read that comment again so Leslie can hear it.
Yeah. Hey, and Leslie, if you can introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm Leslie, president of Euroshield Roofing. Been with the company for about 10 and a half years. I was here on this roof last Friday, and we've received some feedback regarding what's happening here. It's a little bit different situation, or it is a different situation than we typically see. So just want to come back and make sure that we're able to show people what we see here. Give you an idea right now. This is a large house. We've got about 6,000 square feet under roof. The attic space itself probably has a footprint of about 3,000 square feet. It's very large in volume. And this roof was put on in January. It's so we're now 8 months later. I just want to come back and take a look because this is our gray Vermont HP product. And we can see that up near the solar fan.
Hey, Remington, can you put me in the screen alone for a second so that we can get a closer look at that?
Yeah. Let me see here.
Yeah. Sorry, you're going to have to go back out there. Yeah. Oh, maybe you can't. Maybe I have to be the one to present, but that's okay.
Here we go. Gotcha,
okay,
TJ.
there we go. Now we're good.
All right. So what we're here really to look at, analyze, discuss is the shingles that we see around this GAF solar vent. And like I mentioned, this roof has been on here in Mobile, Alabama for about 8 months. And so with what we saw for temperatures in the attic space, ambient air temperature, we were around 110. Not a bad reading when it's 88 degrees outside and we're towards the end of the day. And then even up on the underside of the deck, we were reading about 119 degrees Fahrenheit. It stayed quite consistent in the 118 to 120 range as we went around and took different temperature readings. Other than the solar vent that we have here, we do also have some ridge vent on some of the different ridges. And so if we look at the temperature of the shingle right now, we've got a surface temperature of 152 degrees. I don't know if you can see that okay.
Yep.
153 degrees. And then what we'll see if we climb up there is that we're going to be much, much closer to that air temperature of the attic space. And having a solar fan in such a large space, really the top CFM that is rated for is we've got a lot of mass pumping air onto that roof. And so we probably have a temperature differential of somewhere around we're probably really close to 40 degrees difference right now, 40 degrees difference in air temperature. And so, or excuse me, in temperature between the air coming out of the attic and the surface of the shingle itself. And with the volume of air that is moving over around that fan, it's really just slowing down the weathering in process. So one thing that's different about our products versus other synthetic products is that as our product weathers in, when you talk about a gray, it will actually darken as it weathers in rather than lighten. There are a couple of things that influence that. Part of it is
Matt, you mute yours for a second.
Yeah,
Mute
really,
yours. Sorry, Matt was coming up here.
Part of the difference in the looks between shingles when they're newly produced and as they've weathered in. Our weathering in process is pretty quick. It doesn't take a long time like we're seeing here. We're 9 months out. It's weathered in nicely. Looks similar in surface to a natural slate roof where it's a matte finish when it's dry, and then when it's wet it is shiny, so it makes it look more like slate. But what we're seeing in that area around that vent is it hasn't weathered in fully there with the cooler temperatures going across it, so it's almost still got more of a sheen, which helps reflect sunlight, makes it look lighter. And then in addition to that, as the pigments in our mix weather in, those have seen decelerated aging because of the cooler temperatures. So the shingles around there are still lighter, which is how they came out of the mold. We're also going to show today, we've got Chase Johnson here with us that flew in from Denver. He's installed our product for over 7 years. Many installs. Just curious to see what's going on here. We got a shingle that the homeowner provided us that is
The original, right before install, right?
This is from the same lot. So we're just going to take that up there to show.
So as everybody can see, the darker, this is what a shingle would look like prior to install, but then the shingles that are already installed up there.
Yep. And so we'll take this up there and place it around the vent, so you can also see the difference in the color between this shingle, the shingles around that vent, and the product as it's weathered in on the surface of the roof.
Can I ask you a couple quick questions?
Absolutely.
This roof is not going to leak, right?
This is solid. It's 2 layers. This particular roof has 2 layers of rubber on it, so you're not only have the water barrier from 2 layers of rubber, it all interlocks. So it's not that they can get some hurricane. We're in Mobile, Alabama. They can get some hurricane force winds through here. It all interlocks as well, so it will stay in place even with high winds going across it. And they chose to ice and water the full deck. They were really just looking for a roof that they knew they would never have to touch again.
And I want to ask the hard question here: is this roof defective?
This roof is not defective.
Yeah. Is there any need to go in and change this roof or to repair that area?
This is not a repair situation. If the homeowner were to choose that he wanted to temporarily ventilate his roof out of a window, for example, and allow this product around the vent to weather in, he could certainly do that. With the size of this house and with energy costs higher, he's not concerned about it. His house is for sale. They've decided to move. However, his preference is to leave things as they are. He's also willing to speak a little bit on his product selection and his thoughts on his roof.
Awesome. So yeah, just so you guys all heard that, we're gonna speak to the homeowner here in just a few minutes and get their thoughts on the product. They are in love with this Euroshield, from what I've seen and been told. And Matt is gonna actually go up in just a few minutes and show this roof from up top. Chase, you want to say anything while we're here?
No, it's a beautiful install. It's a great product. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just got that fan blowing one area and keeping it cold.
Yeah. Why did you come all the way from Denver?
I'm invested in Euroshield. It's a good product.
Yeah.
It's like as a roofer that installs a lot, if I see an issue and somebody brings something to light, I want to see it firsthand also.
What was, when you saw the post this weekend from all over social media, what were your first thoughts?
There's a turtle vent right below the power vent, so I was really curious what a turtle vent's doing. That's acting, it looks like, as the exhaust vent for a kitchen fan. Beyond that, I had noticed that the ridge itself had done the same weathering issue that the field had. I know from working with Euroshield for so long that their ridge cap is made in bulk, in advance on a different machine. So to see that same colorant between the ridge and the shingle told me right away it's not a mix issue.
Right.
While we got this up, what I've brought with me is an infrared drone. We're looking down on that portion of the roof right now. The lighter color area is cooler than the red area. The red area is showing 150 degrees Fahrenheit up by that vent. 117 if I get closer. 120 tops. Big difference. So there is a dramatic difference in the temperature. I gotta land this thing because I'm gonna die.
And as you guys can see, this is we're looking at this. Leslie, there was also a concern about how responsive Euroshield has been in regards to this, and I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna let you answer that.
Yeah, we've been around for 24 years, so if someone has a concern on the roof, they're able to submit a warranty
Hey everybody, we're live here at this homeowner's house, and so going live, sometimes you get dropped off there. It looks like TJ is mute for right now, but hopefully you can get that fixed here quickly. Looks like they're working on it. Guys, for the viewers, while they figure out the volume, this is really cool. I mean, where can you see where you have a bunch of individuals from around the country meeting at this homeowner's house to really figure out what's going on with this particular roof? So I love it.
I don't know if you can hear me, Remington.
Yeah, Matt, I can hear you. TJ, though,
All
is
right, good.
mute for some reason. So if
Yeah.
you can go back over there and get this, because this is great footage. We got to get this.
Yep. I'm going in right now.
I feel like I'm at like the command center at like cops, you know, watching everybody walk around. Like, you got to go get them, man.
No one can hear you guys right now, so I'm going to come in and provide audio.
Everyone can see and hear you. So.
Well, now there's way close up.
Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm out here filming Leslie right now. Leslie, let's talk about this one more time about the responsiveness. We were talking about whether or not this was dealt with in a timely manner, and we've gotten your response. If you want to say it one more time so people can hear.
Yeah, just in general, we've been around 24 years. If someone has a warranty concern, they're able to reach out to us. We'll ask them to fill out their information, include pictures on what their concerns are, whether it's the homeowner that has reached out to us or the contractor. We will reach out to the contractor to understand what they're seeing, and from there, we're always working to be better, but really from those pictures, we're analyzing what do we do as far as next steps. Of course, we believe in our product. We know certain things that can cause certain issues. So a lot of times we know where to ask questions to understand more information of what might be going on in this situation.
Hey, Matt, get closer to Leslie. Get closer so we can hear her. She's kind of faint there.
People, within about. Hello.
We're trying to get a mic to work.
Okay. Still nothing.
Much better. So you're talking into my ear.
Oh.
I am the microphone right now. This is live.
Okay. We've been around 24 years. Our warranty process, really, if someone has a concern, a contractor or homeowner can reach out to us via our online form. There we are going to request pictures so that we can do an initial analysis to have a better discussion together with the contractor and or homeowner if it's the homeowner that has reached out to us, and then determine from there what that means in terms of what other additional information we need, whether or not it means an on-site visit. In this case, it was a little different scenario, and part of the reason that we had someone from our warranty team and myself here last Friday to physically review for ourselves what's happening on this roof. In general, Chase is here with us and is willing just to provide this. He's been a customer of ours for over 7 years now, and so he's just willing to provide a little.
Dang, I wish their sound wasn't going out. Again, there's always issues when you're going live, especially in the field, like Matt and TJ and Leslie and Chase are. Wait, somebody just kicked back on here.
So I think that we had kicked out and he cut out. So we just picked up about halfway through the conversation right now with James.
Hey, Matt, I think this is going to be the best way to do this. If you use your phone as the microphone, and then I'm going to put
that's what we're doing.
TJ's up there as a solo. Okay.
Sounds good. All right.
I don't know where we're at. Where they heard us.
They heard none of that. Start over. What was the question? We're using your video, my audio, and only I can hear Remington.
Okay. So, my experience, without getting into names of manufacturers, is Euroshield is bar none the best in handling their warranties in regards to responsiveness. I have an asphalt one that I was just talking about that took a year from the time we put it in and said, hey, something's wrong with this, to the time we got approval for replacement, a year. I'm dealing with another synthetic manufacturer that we're over 2 years into.
Matt, get your phone closer to him.
Kudos to Euroshield in my experience.
Awesome. So, Matt, are we good here?
Yeah. So let's. Do you want to jump in the attic real quick? Take a look from the inside. What does the audience really want us to do? Is there any questions that you guys have that we should try to answer while we're here?
Here, I'm going to leave and come right back in. This is my audio coming.
Okay. I'll put my camera back on. So we are going to jump in the attic. You got in the attic already. I'd love to take the audience in the attic.
Okay.
Let's do that. And then we'll climb on a roof.
Yep,
we'll try not to die.
Maybe before we get one of the homeowners here.
Oh yeah. We need a better signal. Does your Wi-Fi reach outside? Oh, okay. Ah.
Yeah, I have been. If Remington can come back in. Okay.
Really weak. We have 18 megabytes.
Oh, hold on one second. Let me.
You stay there. Stay on.
Yep.
TJ's back. We got
I'm
TJ's volume, baby.
All right. So we're here with Mr. Whedon. Mr. Whedon, you're the homeowner of this beautiful home here in Mobile, Alabama, and we're looking at your roof, and we want to get your thoughts about what you've seen, how Leslie's been. We'll start with that. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I was looking for a roof starting March 9th of 2022 when an F1 tornado hit 500 feet down the street. We had some lifted shingles. Most of the websites I went to were more geared towards contractors, and there's very little consumer-friendly information in roofing. So I started a little project of my own trying to find what would be the best roof for this area. I got help from local roofing companies. They were for synthetics. I was looking for something that would be a product that would last my lifetime. I would never have to put another roof on. We looked at F-Wave, we looked at Euroshield, and a few of the other synthetics, and settled in on the F-Wave and Euroshield. And then after a little bit of research, we locked in on the Euroshield.
So when did you start thinking or possibly noticing that there could be some sort of issue or concern that you started asking questions about it?
Well, I talked with David Summerly about it, asking him, showing him the discoloration. It was different color.
Yeah.
And just what should we do? And let's use this as a learning experience to make the installation better. If we needed to add more ventilation, if we didn't have enough ventilation or too much, or whatever the issue was, but to use this as a growth for the company and also for the roofer. Sean McCord was our salesman with this, and him and David were very instrumental in me deciding to use Euroshield.
So, kudos to the crew that installed it. It's been a great roof. Have you had any other trouble other than the discoloration with the roofing system?
None whatsoever. I love it. I'm trumpeting the system to all my neighbors, and we've had half the neighborhood stop by wanting to know more information about it.
So let me just ask this. Has Leslie been responsive to you in regards to?
Oh, very. Yeah. She's helped us understand that the problem we have is not a shingle problem. It's a weathering in.
Would you like for Euroshield to do anything else that they've done so far, or your contractor do anything else so far, or are you taking the recommendation of Leslie?
Well, we've got the house for sale, and the big concern for us was a potential buyer coming out here and going, "Why is your roof a different color?" I have no control over the color of the shingle, but that's why we reached out for them, and Leslie's been more than generous in sending us replacement shingles. We originally looked at pulling one of the ends off and replacing the whole end, but right now that's not really going to change the issue. I don't think it probably wouldn't help the situation.
Leslie, talk about that just for a second, if you don't mind, about the warranty. The roof is still warranted, right? And Mr. Weeden, if he were to have any issues with this roof, the next homeowner would still be a part of that warranty.
Yeah, absolutely. Our warranty is transferable to a second home, which the Weedens intend to do as part of the sale of their home. And it's something where if in the case, I mean, we're in Mobile, Alabama, it's warm. So instead of turning off that fan and allowing that weathering in process to happen more quickly than it will with that much cooler air blowing across it, he's elected to leave it as it is. And I have agreed that I'm happy to write a letter, that we would write a letter as a company stating what is happening here, and then also talk with his realtor, a potential buyer's realtor, about what's happening. We do have product here. If someone were to choose, for example, to pull off material from a separate slope and that's already been weathered in, that's from the same color lot, and either install it around that vent or pull that vent and use a different venting solution, and then allow that material from a new lot to weather in separately. So.
Awesome. So, Mr. Weeden, I'm just going to say this to close. Is there anything more that you would like for us to do with your project at this point?
No, I'm satisfied with the solutions we have right now, and the best material in the market, I believe, is on our roof. I don't believe we can get any better than what we got now. The only issue I had was color, and I don't think the product itself, there's any defects or anything.
Awesome.
It was just a color issue.
Well, I'm going to switch it over here to Matt. Matt in the hat here. Everybody knows Matt Mulholland. Listen to this bull. Matt, are you going to go up here on the roof and have a look at it?
Definitely going to get on this roof.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come all the way to Alabama and not get on a roof.
Right?
Yeah.
Chase is going to get up there with you, I think.
Absolutely.
And well, why don't you do this? If you guys want to go ahead and jump up, I'll go ahead and log off my side of the camera for the meantime, but I'll stay in the general area. But Remington, you've heard it here first today, man. This roof is solid as can be. The colors are going to change to the right color with time. And we're looking at like a 30 to 45 degree difference in that one little area where that amazing solar vent is. And, I don't know what else we can do right at this point. The homeowner is satisfied. We've been out here a couple of times the past few weeks to make sure that we're helping this homeowner. And, this is definitely the first one in 24 years to have done this. But you know what? It's been a learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely, TJ. And this is really cool. We had a comment too that kind of is justifying exactly what you guys are doing and have been doing. And it was, I was just about to say, what other manufacturer would you see going to this length for one homeowner? Very impressive, and it certainly is. It's, you know, all boots on the ground, that's for sure, and it's pretty cool. And I'm excited to see what Matt sees when he gets up there. I truly am.
He's actually getting on the ladder right now. You know, I'll give a little bit of overview. We're right here in this beautiful Alabama territory, you know, this beautiful lake behind us here. And what better house to have this beautiful Vermont slate HP roof on. They've had hail here twice since this roof's been installed this year. And there's no damage to this roof from the hail. And then just a couple miles down the road, I understand that they had a very large hailstorm. So they're really getting the protection that they deserve, and it's going to be a great roof for the rest of this, hopefully the rest of this house's life, if not, you know, for at least the next 50 years.
Yeah, and it sure looks that way. We have a comment
I'm
here.
about to
Karina
climb on
shares-
a ladder because this is the first
on the ladder.
first
And
folding
TJ,
ladder I've been on since I had a ladder collapse on me.
Matt, be careful now. Be careful.
This might be the
Oh, yeah.
very first time I've been nervous on a ladder before.
Oh man, that's so if you guys can see my camera right now, Chase is up there on top of the roof, and he's got that shingle that was a part of the original lot to show that that color is the natural color prior to install, and then also prior to the aged weathering look.
And just to clarify a little bit, because our shingles are about 70% recycled tires, our base color is black. And so let's say you're talking about vinyl siding or polymer or plastic chair. What you'll see is that as the UV and the heat degrade the whatever is used as a pigment to color the plastic, or it will actually lighten. And the reason that it's lightening is because they're using a base material that's either white, gray, or translucent, depending on which polymer they're using and whether it's recycled or a prime material. And with our product having such a high carbon black content and the core of the mix being...
Oh, I lost their feed.
Yeah,
now it's on me.
We lost TJ's feed there. We was talking to Leslie, but I bet TJ can just hit a switch and pop back on here in a second. Hey, Matt, in the meantime, hey, I'm about to put you at solo, Matt, and you tell us what's going on up there, buds. Tell me what you're seeing.
Okay. All right, so we're up on the roof. Let me turn this sideways so it gets a little bigger. This is the power attic vent that has been the issue. It is a solar power attic vent. It's definitely blowing out hot air. I can feel the hot air coming out of it. But this area of the shingles that is silver in color, which is much closer to the original color of the shingle, is cooler than the area below it that's black. What I'm standing on that's a little bit black or blacker. It's probably like a charcoal color. But that's not the only area that has this. Now that I'm up here, here's a ridge vent, and it's still silver underneath this ridge vent for a line. So it hasn't darkened at this ventilation area either. I would bet anywhere where I found ventilation, I would notice the same thing. And there you go. I don't know if I can zoom in with this camera setup, but it definitely looks a little bit more silver along that line as well. Anywhere where there is some ventilation. So this one doesn't vent, does it? The air is going up and under and to the other side, and it's actually got a little bleed through here. So this will get darker eventually. It's just being protected from the heat more than the rest of the roof. I would like to ask Leslie at some point how dark this is likely to get. You've been installing these for a while, though. This is it? This is as dark as it gets. So how long does it take to get to this point usually? Yeah? He says by the end of one season, it's usually weathered in, meaning it's reached the coloration that it would normally would. There are some glue points on this, but it actually looks very, very realistic to a normal slate now that the color has changed to that. This is very, very reminiscent of a real slate. I'm actually really impressed with how much like slate it really is. I don't know if I would know the difference from a distance. Having installed one of these before, I'm a huge fan. It's so easy to install these. You can cut them with a normal razor blade like butter. It's fantastic. I'll tell you this though, there is a black powder on it. I've been on other synthetics that have done the same thing. This isn't really a synthetic, but I've seen on other products like that.
It'll definitely happen with these. You're gonna feel it. If you grab an old tire, your hand's gonna be black. So just think about these like tires. It's definitely gonna have that coloration off your hands. But it's not the coloration, it's just the carbon fiber that's outside. So
The carbon black, which is really what's going to protect this from being degraded by UV radiation for a very, very long time.
Matt, that's synthetic granules, buddy.
Synthetic granules? That's what that is? All right, so when hail comes down and it makes spatter marks then and releases all these synthetic granules, is that damage, you think? Remington?
Yeah. Pre-loss condition, man. Pre-loss condition.
I'm really curious. If I were to wipe the powder off, will it look more like that? No. He actually licked the same hand that he placed on this earlier, and then he rubbed the shingle. He did that for you guys. How did that taste?
carbon blacky.
I don't know if I would have done that. You can't see fingerprints on some of these where some people had held on. So some of that does cause some of the discoloration, but from where he wiped, it's clean feeling, but the color is the same way. So it should be roughly the same color throughout once it eventually gets to the color that it will stay. That's kind of one of the benefits of this. You can't just, the color is throughout. It's not a surface color. It's not a coating that's on here. Does anybody in the audience have questions about this?
You know, there were some things said, Matt, and, you know, for instance, we talked about the sale of the home and so forth. The homeowner talked about it. And we have a real estate agent that actually made a comment and said that this is not going to be an issue for purchase sale purposes. You know, that's a beautiful home and they don't see it being an issue at all. And I threw up that comment there. But yeah, you know, there was some question asked about, well, maybe could it be a chemical factor in the particular batch of these shingles, you know, but I think Leslie hit it on the head pretty well and went in depth about, you know, why it's not a chemical issue or a batch issue or defect, so to speak. Matt, I can't believe that the top of that roof is literally almost a third cooler than it is on the other portions of that roof. That's impressive.
Let me see here. Okay, so the top left-hand temperature is the temperature that I'm pointing at, and I'm right next to the vent. I'm going to walk away from the vent in just a second. We're going to look at this again, but hopefully you guys are seeing that it's like 120, 117 right next to the vent, and that's where it's silver. So you won't be able to see as I move to a different area. Bear with me. Oddly enough, this roof doesn't feel as hot as it's showing to my hands. I find that very interesting. All right, so now I'm at a different area. Really all you need to pay attention to is that top left-hand number. What's wrong with my camera?
160.
Is it working now?
Yep.
Yeah, I told them you wouldn't see it for a second as I was moving. All right, so 160 degrees over here. Now the coloration that's in there has changed because the range has changed, but 159, 158 degrees, all in the darker black areas. Now, if I get real close to this ridge vent where it's still a little bit silver, see what it says for that. 130 something. So a 20-degree difference between this spot here and that down there. So that temperature is interesting. So I'd like to know if this is something you can expect on all of these. I assume that you would if it is going to get darker over time. I know a lot of contention was the fact that someone said that these were guaranteed never to fade. This isn't a fading thing. They're not fading. Yeah, fading usually means it gets lighter, right? So if it's not fading, it's just getting darker and it settles at this color. I would, as a homeowner, I can tell you this, and maybe Euroshield doesn't want me to say this too much, but I'd want to know what the final color is going to be, and I'd want to try that out on my house. I don't know if I'd want a product that's as silver as that to put on the front porch and say, hey, would this look good on my roof, if it's going to end up looking more like a charcoal in less than a year. So, all right. I might transfer things back to TJ while I get down. He's going to get down. So if there's any questions that are coming from the audience on this, let me know. We'll see how things look in the attic in just a minute.
Hey, Matt, that was good action right there. I can tell you that. We appreciate it. And I'm gonna get TJ back on here. He's about to go live. He's on the ground, boots on the ground there at the homeowner's house. Let's get here.
Remington, we are people who like that make sure that things are right in this industry, right? We always want to make sure that the homeowner's taken care of first. We want to make sure that contractors are doing the right things when we're building these types of roofing systems, and not to take away from anything that's happened this far. It's been a great learning experience all the way around. We really wanted to give people an opportunity to see exactly what we are seeing and the reasons why we did what we did, and to get the homeowner's perspective of what's actually going on here. This isn't to take away from anything that happened with that post, but we want people to understand what lengths we were willing to go through in order to come out here. I left my house last night in the middle of the night to fly down here to do this live broadcast with Leslie, as well as Matt Mulholland, who was teaching yesterday in Nashville, and then also has the doctor's appointment by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and here we are in Mobile, Alabama. And then, not to take away from Chase Johnson, who left his business in Denver because of his love and his dedication to this product. I'm standing in front yard right now in this beautiful house in Mobile, Alabama, and we do not want anybody to think that we haven't done everything possible to make this homeowner happy.
TJ, I love it. And hey, there's been an influx of some viewers. So just recap in a little brief what the homeowner said live just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, the homeowner is extremely satisfied with this product. They've been through every manufacturer to try to find the right product for this house when they did. And the install is very solid. The contractor who installed it did a great job installing this product. They're still telling other friends and other people that they come in contact with about this roof. They're still in love with it. They don't think that they want it changed any other way as to the way it is now, and they're comfortable with the warranty where it's at, and not having to change any shingles or do any type of repair or anything.
Love it. And hey, TJ, you were on the ground, and I don't know if you heard this, but there was a comment there about, hey, there's no one else that would go to these lengths to actually do what you guys are doing right now for one homeowner. But here you are flying everywhere across the country to be in Mobile, Alabama, to make sure that this homeowner is satisfied. And that's awesome.
This product
legitimately, this is the coolest attic I've been in a long time. This thing is wide open.
Throw that back over to Matt so that he can have it, but bring it back to me before you close.
All right, will do.
All right, so we're in this attic. There's so much space. There's so much room. I'm not ducking. I'm not crawling. I can walk around. It is hot in here. but it's not to the point that I'm dying. It feels about maybe slightly higher temperature than outside. So there's the power attic vent that we were up there looking at. The decking looks fine. It's definitely got proper markings. It looks like the rafters might even be 16 inches on center. They're nice and tight. This is well constructed. I don't know if there's anything that we can learn from this place simply because there's nothing to see. It's in perfect condition. I don't know. Is there anything I should be looking at, Remington, that you can think of?
No, I mean, I'm with you. I'm trying to find something where, I could be critical about, but it is that's a nice attic, Matt. That's a nice attic.
Nice attic, right? I wish they were all this easy.
Hey, hey, Matt, there was a comment and it said, I'm surprised this is the first time it's been an issue in 24 years. It seems like it should be a common thing with particular products. So,
yeah, maybe, I'm going to talk to Leslie a little bit about some of the stuff. I've got a laser thermometer. I'm putting just below that thing right now. It says 121. Now I'm going to go further down where it's much darker. 128. So even on the inside, it's actually cooler by the fan, even though that's a higher point on the roof than down here where there is a darker color shingle sitting on top. I lost my laser point. Where am I pointing at? There it is. All right, 124. Maybe it is the same. No, that's about the same. I take it back.
Yeah, so
Even temperature.
one thing to point out here though as well is what did you take for a surface temperature reading on the shingles down here?
Down here, it was in the 158, 157 range.
So one thing that you see with our product, because rubber is an insulator, is you are at 158, and on the back side of this deck, we're at 120. We're at 125. This underlay does not have the radiant barrier on it, so it's not a factor of having a radiant barrier with it. But in general, this is a very large attic space. Obviously, there's no restriction of any airflow from the inside being pulled to the outside on this roof.
Definitely not.
And so, it's seeing a high volume of air on those specific shingles. Our colors do act a little bit differently because they're base materials that are making either a brown shingle, a gray shingle, or a black shingle. And so aluminum oxides do respond differently, for example, than the iron oxides that we use in our browns with the carbon black. Carbon black, as long as nobody went through. Yeah. And so the aluminum oxides do react faster in UV. And again, because our base color is black, as those aluminum oxides weather in with the heat and the UV, we see more color change with them. But as people have commented before, the majority of that color.
Oh, I think we lost the audio again.
Hey, Matt, you're back on.
Can you guys hear us okay?
Matt, I can hear you.
All right. Leslie, say something. Can you hear Leslie?
Testing.
I can hear Leslie, and I got to say this before she says anything else. She's the most knowledgeable about her product that I've ever heard in my entire life. She is a wealth of knowledge. I love it. Keep it rolling, Leslie.
Okay. April said that there was some echo. Is that still going on? Every word is echoing back 3 times? Okay, that's because there's like 3 different people streaming audio in here. Hang on a second. All right.
Yeah, so
we have some questions.
When,
someone asked, what's in the 750 vent? Where is the 750 vent? Just below it, there was a box vent, but it's not even a 750 vent. It's actually a furnace vent.
This is the exhaust for the stove.
All right, so they used a 750 vent as the cap for this exhaust vent. All right, cool. All right, it's hot in here.
It's warm. It is. Now, yeah. That being said, though, with our product being rubber based and rubber being such an insulator, you can see that there is, that significant difference. It was 88 degrees outside, and if we look at ambient air temperature in here, we're at 112.
Yeah. I'm definitely 112 degrees right now.
I currently live in Alberta, Canada. My body doesn't know what to do with this.
But I don't think I'm sweating. I think it's just collecting on me.
Hey, Matt, we got a question. Matt, we got a question. It says kitchen vent. Would that be extra moisture that the solar vent is pulling back into it?
I can kind of go on this because I looked through this one pretty hard. So that kitchen vent, in my opinion, I don't know this market, and if there's something different with the hurricane side of stuff, should be a Brone vent. They've done it into a turtle vent, but from what I'm seeing, and we took a flame down to the vent, already took the guards off. There is light flow that way, but none of it appears to be like a moisture issue on the roof. So it could be, but not in a way to substantiate what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Or we would.
That is exhaust only. There's no intake at that point.
We would have this around dryer vents that are into roofs on our Euroshields, and I don't, because the dryer vents are pumping out massive amounts of moisture.
Yeah. All right, let's walk into the main room again so that we don't melt completely. If you guys don't have any more questions, I think that we might have answered everything that everyone had. But what do you think? Have we covered it?
We got one more question here that's pending. It says, what is the solution if there is one to prevent this in the future? May have missed it. Just joined.
Is there a solution to prevent this? I don't know if there is.
I don't think there's a preventable solution. I think there's a fix, which would be shutting the power vent off for about 2 months.
Yeah, you could stop ventilating the attic.
The attic would still
might cause other issues.
Just move it to a different location.
Just move it. The other one I thought about looking up at it is
what do you do with the hole?
Well, I believe we could deflect. Here's the other side. I was going to say I think we could if I face this on one of my roofs front side, I'd probably put deflectors in there for a few months to kick that air back up and get it off the roof deck right away, and then pull those later, because you still have the space between the tabs at the end of the shingles and where the lock is. I would open up the lock in that area and put some metal under it, just around the vent, and force that air back up and away from the roof. That's what I would do if he wasn't selling, because somebody's got to come back and take them off too.
What if, and bear with me here, what if we installed underfloor heaters on top of that area on the roof, so you're not heating the attic, just heating the shingle?
I think that the homeowner already spends a lot of money on utility bills.
All right.
In this area.
I don't think it'll take a substantial effort to get it to that color. I think that it will snap into that color within like a month or two. But the only way to do that is to stop that air from blowing directly over the shingles. Like I said, I think that I'd lit some diverters, just like you would a gutter shield, like a gutter guard at the top corner of a gutter by a valley.
Or the other thing that you suggested earlier is, for example, there's a faux window in this attic. So if you wanted to remove the glazing temporarily, pump the hot air out there if you were really concerned about it. As far as this is going to age in, it's just it's decelerated because of the temperature differential.
Yeah. Jonathan said on here, flow is flow. If it's working as an intake vent, a short cycling the ventilation system. I don't think that's the case, because we did see the same coloration on the ridge venting. And since that was there and it's doing the exact same thing at that ventilation point, and there doesn't appear to be any other vents nearby, I don't think that box vent, turtle vent, 750 vent, whatever you would call it, was allowing any intake at that point. So it just didn't appear to. Now
a picture of it happening.
Yeah, so there's the ridge vent, and that's a lower ridge, much more similar in color to the original silver and then below it, it becomes darker. You guys can go back to this video to see that. So I think that that's evidence that that isn't what actually happened. So I think we're good. Guys, it has been an hour of live tech issues with great content. So,
Hey,
what do you
this
think?
was great. This was great.
Hey, so I want to give a shout out to Matt and to Chase for coming all the way here. Thank you guys for your help. You
Yeah,
guys
Chase has
are
been a rock star. Leslie paid for my gas, which is great. And thank you so much for allowing us to be at home with all this craziness.
My pleasure. Glad to have you guys and figure a solution to which really not an issue.
Yeah.
Or non-issue, right? Yeah.
It definitely helps a lot of people understand what's going on too. And the installers will be able to know what it is when they get that question in the future. So this is good.
Exactly.
We're going to sign it off, Remington. You want to take care of it this time?
Yep. I can take care of it. Does anybody have any last words, TJ, Matt?
Hey, Remington, thank you for moderating this. And, of course, thank you to the Whedons as well. If you're just joining now or in the past few minutes, go back and watch this entire video. It was very extensive and thought through, thoroughly through. And we want to make sure people understand how great this product is. We're not only, helping save the environment, but we're also not putting shingles into the landfill. And we're creating a product that can be, next 50 years will be on this roof, and it'll be a good roof.
Thanks, TJ.
Very good.
Matt,
Remington, hit those sponsors, and I'm going to go ahead and sign out myself.
All right, will do.
I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
All right. Hey, for listening to this bull, well, first off, that was fantastic. I mean, when do you as a viewer, I'm a viewer in this situation where I'm sitting here watching TJ, watching Matt, watching Leslie, watching Chase, and watching this homeowner given their time to go and examine what was and I'm going to say potential issue and getting down to the root of it and figuring out what was going on. Long story short, I'll just put it in easy terms. What I would believe is that it's simply just settling. It's like concrete that is settling. And, it just takes some time for that roof to heat up and for the color to go back to the color of the majority matching the roof. So anyway, let's get to our sponsors. We have Claim Titan. Matt will tell you guys that Claim Titan is there as a platform. They want to hear your ideas to use their product. Fabulous. I was with Matt looking at Claim Titan the other day, and I got to tell you, it is A+. Also, Building Experts Institute, that is Matt's company. If you have not set in on any of his classes, you are missing out. He is a massive book of knowledge, and I sit in his classes all the time. And I promise you, you will walk away with golden nuggets to help you in your profession. We have the American Policyholders Association, the APA. They fight fraud against insurance companies. APA is everywhere across the country. They're in legislation pushing laws for policyholders across the entire country. I'm a part of it. Matt's a part of it. Hundreds of people are. If you're not, you need to join the APA. Huggins Law Firm, that's me. I'm not going to say anything about the Huggins Law Firm. We're here to help. And then we have Hook Agency, great company. And Matt had a great slogan last week with Hook Agency. And so next week, next Tuesday, I'll let him use that slogan. We appreciate all of you sponsors, and everybody listening needs to check them out as well. But everybody, that was great. That was fantastic. I'm going to suggest that we have more in the field type content like this, because this was grade A. But everybody have a great evening.